It's important to pay attention to the actions of people and to kind of redirect ourselves depending on that, right? If somebody is treating us unfairly, it's proper to put those boundaries up and to not engage as much. But sometimes I feel as humans, we can take things too personally. And when someone isn't intentionally trying to harm us or, trying to make our lives difficult or terrorize us, sometimes we can take others' actions so personally and cause us to miss out on opportunities and to waste energy on trying to manage emotions and manage people's responses when it's not even personal to who we are as people. It's about setting healthy boundaries while maintaining neutrality, right? We don't always have to be invited or considered or talked to, especially when it's in settings of work or out in the grocery store or just a friend in passing. When we take everybody's actions so seriously to the point where we have to confront every little issue, it wastes so much energy. And this doesn't mean to let people walk all over you, but it does mean to have healthy boundaries and allow people to operate in their capacity. If they want to treat you a specific way, it may not be a reflection of who you are as a person, but of what they're going through internally. And you can adjust yourself according to how they treat you and move on in life. And if somebody is treating you poorly or ignoring you or doing things that you don't necessarily like, you have that right to not engage with them. You don't have to confront the issue and constantly always make things about yourself, but you do have that right to just not engage and move on, which I think is such an emotionally mature thing to do. Internalizing how others behave can lead to stress, anxiety, emotional dysregulation. It can lead to so many things that just aren't serving us as people. And when you deal with a lot of people, especially in leadership environments where some of your people that you're speaking to might not be engaged, when you're dealing with colleagues or other things and you have a lot of responsibility, it's important to let things go, move on, and readjust so that you're not constantly spending your emotional energy addressing every single little thing that may not even be personal. This can also strengthen your self-worth when you're not internalizing things and taking things personal. When you stop basing your validation on invites and reactions and eye contact from other people, when you stop taking things personal if somebody isn't reaching out first or taking the first step to do certain things. And of course, again, that doesn't mean you let people walk all over you and you don't expend yourself and your energy, but you just take note, you take heed. And if you want something, reach out. If you need something, reach out. If someone responds poorly, that's on them. Readjust. You do not have to correct everybody's behavior unless you're in the field to. You do not have to tell everybody what they're doing wrong and how they're hurting you and how things could be better. Not every relationship and circumstance is that important to be addressed every single time. I think this also plays into self-importance. When we think that people are thinking about us and their actions are intentionally targeted, that can lead to so much turmoil inside of us that doesn't allow us to just grow with people and expand and just exercise healthy boundaries of not feeling like we are someone else's world, right? When a friend doesn't respond and we're immediately saying, hey, you not responding made me feel bad. When we make it about us instead of exercising that compassion of maybe they're going through something, maybe they're having a bad day. And if that keeps happening where you feel like you're putting yourself on the line and it's not being reciprocated, then maybe you can reevaluate your relationship with that person. Not every single slight or disagreement is a personal attack on your character. When we view every situation as an opportunity to be wronged or as somebody has ill intent for us, instead of embracing the sole fact that we're not the center focus of everybody's world, it helps us move away from those anxiety-inducing interactions and see that not every battle needs to be fought. I know that something that I really value in the friendships and the spaces that I'm in right now is that people can hang out with whoever they want and go do activities with certain people, share things with certain people, and it doesn't have to be discussed. It doesn't have to be corrected or seen as ill intent, especially when you know the person that you're surrounding yourself with and the people that you're around. When we automatically assume ill intentions for everything, it doesn't allow us to create create friendships and genuine opportunities. We should be happy for the people around us and be quick to forgive and quick to understand when people don't respond or when people maybe give us a mean look. We shouldn't automatically assume the worst. And again, unless things are happening over and over and there's constant offenses, then we need to reevaluate the friendship, or maybe things need to be addressed. But when we constantly assume the worst off of first interactions, then that doesn't allow us to breed intentional friendships. And I know for myself, if people are addressing me with things that I may not have even thought about, it just may have been something that I did, or an invite that I sent out to specific people that I wasn't even thinking to have ill intent to another person. When people address me for certain things like that, it makes me readjust and kind of step back, because my friends know my intentions. And if I am a repeated offender of something that is truly wrong, I am more than willing to accept my part. But again, don't take everything personally. People have other things going on, and also it leads you to way more opportunities when you allow people to operate in their full self. Another example for me is, I had an employer a long time ago who just operated differently culturally, and I allowed her to do that. I allowed her to teach me. I didn't take offense to her tone and the way that she did things, and she really taught me a lot. I didn't address and correct her, especially since she was a superior, and I allowed myself to have some tough and thick skin and to get through it and learn. And I actually built a wonderful relationship with that woman till this day. And she called me a daughter throughout that process, because it was the way that she taught, it was her culture, and I didn't quit because things were uncomfortable. I didn't correct because things were uncomfortable, but I allowed myself to address the situation. And I said, is this physically harming me? Is this prohibiting me from completing other activities? Is this impeding physically on my life? If not, I can handle it. I can get through some things, and I can allow people to operate where they're at and allow that to grow friendships, whether it's stopping friendships because things are not what we are intending to be, or whether it's growing friendships because we can be happy for other people and we can have empathy for other people and understand that not every day is going to be their day, and we are not the center of everyone else's world. When you stop taking personally and let people be, there's a theory called, I think, there's some thing online that talks about letting people do them, which means you're not going to correct, adjust, or try to manipulate the situation. You see how people operate and you navigate and go from there. Not everybody's going to be your cup of tea. You don't have to teach everybody how to treat you. Know your crowd, know your people, and know that it's most of the time not personal.